Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Good evening and welcome to our Tuesday night show where we, comics, solve problems.
Yep.
It's all there, Steve.
It's beautiful.
It's all there. It's beautiful. So this is the bi-weekly show where we are going to look at the world's problems. We've got a few problems that we've brought forward to present to you, the viewer. If you want to send us some of your problems, you can do that via the very social media things that are out there. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can put it into the chat. If you want to tweet at us, our Twitters are there. And you can tweet at us, which is there. Also, before we get too far into it, we would be remiss if we did not suggest to you kindly, dear viewer, that you share us on Facebook, that you ding us on YouTube, that you poke. Do you still poke people on Facebook?
Did you used to poke people? Was that? Yeah.
I used to poke people, and then on Facebook. Look at that.
We're out of the traps. Look at that. Look at that. We're less than a minute in. Look
Nearly
at
a joke, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of stuff we do here, usually with more planning than that. We basically muddle our way through the news and talk about it. And I think we've been doing this show now for it's when quarantine started, so about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And feels like it. And we've solved a lot of problems.
I mean,
in a better place.
Nearly all of them.
Well, let's not talk. It's not about a success rate. I mean, Donald Trump became president. Failure works, people.
Yeah, take a slice of that.
Take a slice of that. So, So check us on the socials and send us problems if you've got them. Otherwise, just sit back and enjoy. And to kick us off tonight, we have the fantastic Mr. Stephen Allen, who's with me right now. Who's got the first problem?
I like the intro. Hello. The problem I want to deal with, first of all, is the problem of disappointing news. I think it's deflated us all today, and for clarity reasons, I should point out I'm talking about the Woolworths story, because actually there are loads of different disappointing news stories that we could be talking about right now. We could have been talking about the moon. That one's felt like quite the disappointment. With NASA last week, I don't think we did it on the show, but last week NASA said there's going to be a major announcement about the moon, and we were all like, ooh, it's exciting. What's it going to mean? Is it going to mean that is the moon entering tier 3? Is there a moon base on it? Did it know Jeffrey Epstein? What kind of news story was going to drop? Obviously, it being 2020, I'm expecting the worst. I was thinking, so it's going to kill us. That's probably what it is. Most things in 2020 do, and it'd be a nice plot twist if it wasn't actually a disease that wiped out humanity. After all that, it's the flipping moon. It was there all along. But then we finally got the story from NASA. What was the big announcement? Some water on it. Thanks, NASA. It's a bit damp. I mean, that is not news that is worthy of a week build-up, of a teaser trailer a week ago. If I'm doing the dishes and I accidentally, the water splashes in a cup too much, lands by the side of the sink, I don't go and find the other half and say, I've got some big news about the kitchen work surface, and I'll tell you next week. Just kidding. There's water on it.
It'll be dry in a week.
Probably. So will the moon be. Although it turns out it won't. It will stay slightly damp because there's a thing called a wet trap. So the reason there's water on the moon is a wet trap. And actually now wet trap is now going to be my favourite euphemism for a toilet cubicle. No, I'm just going to go in the wet trap. It also sounds like the opposite of a thirst trap. Do you know what a thirst trap is, Eric?
No.
It's a modern phrase that the young people use on the social medias.
Dear.
When a young nubile sort posts a picture that's somewhat sexually provocative so as to get compliments, it's known as a thirst trap. So you'll get like some young thing looking great, not wearing much, post a little picture saying, thought this was cute, might delete later, just so that everyone goes, I like what you look like on that.
I don't think that's what the young people do.
That's what that sounds in my mind's ear when you read, I like what you look like on that. And then
it's not a young person sound.
Then they post emojis, which are some sort of code for sex. I saw one the other day. I don't know what it means, but I know it's not good. I don't know what's going on with the... Do what to a kebab? Oh, I don't want to...
Which one's kebab?
I think it's the one next to the bell end. Anyway.
That's a taco.
Is it? Oh, well, either way, it's getting a bone in it. So that's what a thirst... Oh, we're off topic. We're not talking about thirst traps. Anyway, no, it could be other disappointing news stories like this one. Scientists find out that vampire bats socially distance when they're sick. Oh, good. Uh-huh. More bats in more laboratories. That's exactly what we need right now. What could possibly go wrong? And while I'm doing disappointing news from the scientists, this one bothered me as well. According to scientists, they've worked out that a refusal to wear a face mask is linked to antisocial personality disorder. And I'd just like to say, duh. Can't believe they spent... Were the scientists genuinely shocked when they worked that out?
Fascinating results. It says that if you are a selfish bastard who does not like other people, you are less likely to wear a face mask that could save those other people. And all of these results from studying only one man.
Like the one national holiday where everyone wears a mask and still he doesn't. For the love of... Anyway, so although before we move on with this story, I did love the bit it was in the Metro I was reading it. There's a quote saying that the study identified 2 profiles among participants, which they had higher scores of antisocial traits such as callousness, deceitfulness, hostility, impulsivity, irresponsibility, manipulativeness, and risk-taking. Don't you feel sorry for these scientists who have to work with those people? No one should ever have to work with people who score highly for callousness, deceitfulness, hostility, impulsivity, manipulativeness, and risk-taking other than other Tories. Seems fair's fair.
Political satire.
Political satire. Streaming via the internet for you. And it also could have been many other disappointing news stories. But the one that really bothered us, I think, was the Woolworths one. Earlier today on social media, as it says in this headline, excitement as Woolworths social media account says it's reopening shops in the UK. Back to the old days. Because in many ways, Woolworths was the canary in the coal mine. It was the first one to go, and then life has been terrible since Woolworths went. 2015, next thing you know, votes go skew if, diseases wiping us all out, and the high street just got absolutely ruined. So if Woolworths comes back, it's like the first green shoots starting to happen again after some sort of forest fire. It's like those animals that are moving back into the Chernobyl area. Nature is healing. But then, if you go back to the headline, we should have noticed something was wrong. A shop opening in Wales. Something didn't sit right. And true enough, turns out, nope, the owner of Woolworths, the Very company, they own the trademark. They said that they were not behind the claims that the store was reopening. Bastards. Because that's really taken the shine off the day for me. And actually, now I look at it, it makes sense that wouldn't have happened. Because if Woolworths tried to reopen, it would have gone like this.
Hello, sit down, yes. How can we at the bank help? Hello, I'm the owner of Woolworths and I'd like to borrow some money to reopen, please. Are you sure this is the right time to try this? Oh, we've got a good business model. We never should have closed. A lot has changed since you were in operation. Sure, we'll be fine. Okay, so talk me through your business plan. Well, we plan to import goods from Europe, and you may have to pay tariffs. We've left the EU. Well, we're only importing things like sugary drinks. There can't be that much duty on that. Duty? No. Taxes? Yes, they brought that in. Well, let's move away from the snack sector. I know we have the reputation for being the shop where everyone nicks, pick and mix, but we've actually invested a lot in high-tech facial recognition cameras. Everyone's wearing face masks. Damn it. So, it's not just about food. We'll also make money selling CDs. Ooh. Cassettes. Ugh. Records? That could work, yes. We will make money selling the latest records by all the big names. Prince. Ooh. David Bowie. Bill Withers. Let me check. No. Well, it's also books. The young, trendy people absolutely love books. There must be a new one out by that J.K. Rowling. Ooh. Look, a lot has changed since you were open. You know, I knew this would be a problem. My big worry was that after we left all of those shops empty, of course they'd be filled by some vibrant business thriving. There's just no space left on the high street for us. You know what? I think we can do a deal.
And, yep, that's sadly... Well, we're not going to get Woolworths back. Some of the messages already coming in on this. Don't forget, wherever you're watching this, you can message your messages. Chris Curling says, Woolworths was the only shop that you could buy an ironing board in the same place, the same aisle as Pick and Mix. Yeah, because you might want to melt your sweets. Let's have a look what else. John McLaren says, evening all, evening. Pick and Method, says Mark, but also because there was earlier acting in my little rant. Chris says, wunderbar Method, but Mark says, that was Method. Could you pinpoint the accent I was trying to do in that sketch?
It was good. It was good. Slovakian, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Something that was there. Yeah, I mean, the obsession with Woolworths in the UK. I mean, it was open when I came here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, it was a bit,
It might have gone past its best, but still.
I'm just more of a Waitrose guy.
Oh, okay, him. Some of us had to go to Woolworths. I used to love Woolworths. Sutton Centre, in the centre of Sutton, Nashville, where I'm from, the big shop in the middle was Woolworths in what is now the Idlewell Shopping Centre. But back then it didn't have a roof on it, so it was just a town centre.
Right.
We couldn't afford roofs back then, it was so poor. And I used to love going in there. But these days it's a B&M, so, I'm still quite happy.
Yeah.
My Utah says my granny was distraught when Woolworths closed. She bought her underwear and dustbins there. Are those
Same
two
shopping
items?
Trip?
One of them is
those a
full.
euphemism?
One's full and needs changing, and the other one. So, what I should do as well. Oh, but Woolworths still exists in Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, says John on the message board.
We used to have it in America as well. I don't know if it's still. I'd have to look that up. Hold on. We used to. Kmart was the big one when I was a kid. You never had Kmarts, did you?
No, but we're all scared of American shops because we know that they mainly sell guns and things, don't they? If they sell guns in Walmart, you sell them in all the marts. Yeah?
There's nothing wrong with getting. It makes it so much easier to get a gun. If you're going to sell guns, it's about convenience. You can pick up a basketball, pick up a dustbin, pick up an AK-47.
Do you know what? If I'm in a queue behind someone buying those items, I, like Utah's granny, am going to have to buy some more underwear.
I need a dustbin afterwards to clean up. Anyway.
Keep the messages coming through. What I forgot to do as well, because not only do we have Product Cam, which is down here for me to do things. This works
there you go.
I also tried to set up Comment Cam, but it's not going to work. It's too... No, the system's overloaded.
Yeah. Overloaded system.
I've overloaded the system.
Overloaded. Woolworths was refreshingly British. It was tired, cheap, and dowdy. We called it Woolies, but we were happy.
Yes.
Well, you know what? After January, when we Brexited with no deal, Britain will again be tired, cheap, and dowdy.
Yeah.
So we will be, the whole United Kingdom will be Woolies.
So nice.
And we'll need more Woolies because they probably won't have any heat or electricity or anything else. So
those are the days.
Something to look forward to. Right. So, speaking of problems, Steve, should we crack on with this? This is a big one because Christmas is coming, allegedly, unless Boris Johnson cancels it. But we have a big problem for this Christmas. How do children get to see Santa during a pandemic? Now, I don't know. I know you don't have kids and don't particularly like being around kids. But it's an issue if you're a parent. But then I saw this headline: COVID-19, U.S. polls plan to give early vaccine to Santa Claus. Now,
ouch.
Yeah, there's a couple ways to look at this. One is they're not going to give a vaccine to Santa Claus because Trump hates Santa because he's only ever gotten coal. I mean, what else are you going to give a kid named Trump? I
love the idea. The naughty list, very unfair, very mean.
I'm always on it. And the other thing is that, so basically they were going to give Santa special access to the vaccine, because apparently white privilege goes all the way to the North Pole. I just thought of that joke as I said it. So there we go. See, look at that spontaneous comedies happening here, people. Apparently this was a program for celebrities, as it was to endorse the new vaccine that was coming, hopefully before Christmas. So they thought if we give the Santas the vaccine before other people get the vaccine, they'll be like, I really like. Guess what I got for Christmas before you did, you dirty little fucker. Santa would have access to it and would endorse it. They wouldn't give it to the elves, of course, because that would take it a leap going across species. And elves are immune from COVID-19. That's a fact. So initially, when there was rumors of the Santas getting the vaccine, they were very excited at first. Here they are.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry.
I mean, you can listen to that. How can you not feel happy listening to Santas like that? It's like unless you're Jewish, they don't get a Santa because of Hanukkah. They give Hanukkah Harry. I don't know if you know about Hanukkah Harry.
Didn't know about Harry. No.
Doesn't ho ho ho. But apparently, they were looking smug in that video. Like, Look at that. Look what's on our Christmas list this year. But actually, that clip isn't from the COVID-19 era. That clip is going back to swine flu, because this isn't the first time that Santa and the vaccine have been linked to each other. There's actually a legacy of this in the United States. But in that time, these were Santas who were campaigning to get a vaccine for swine flu first. And because they had a reason for that. Here's what they thought of the kids sitting on their laps.
They're little petri dishes that are sitting on our laps.
Ho, 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 ho! Nasty little fuckers! Get that disease-ridden child off of me! I mean, to be fair, Steve, I know how you are about germs even before COVID-19.
Yep.
I've always dreamed, and to be fair, the COVID belly I have right now, I could be a Santa. I've always wanted to be a Santa.
You should have kept going with a beard.
But I've got a good ho. I mean, is that a good ho, ho, ho?
It's nice. It's good.
Merry Christmas. Always wanted to. But the children are diseased. So it's a tough call. It's a tough call. But yeah, at the time, this is what one of the other Santas thought of the possible solution.
We feel that, yes, we should be given the needle.
Given the needle? I mean, what exactly are the Santas hoping are in that shot? Little, come on, kids, Santa's ready. So basically, I don't think the Santas are going to get the vaccine this time because back during the swine flu, it didn't turn out very well once they did get the needle, as we saw. Yes. Might have the kids watch that this year for the first time. A little Bad Santa.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah, I think once you see the results of what happens when you give Santas the needle, that's why they aren't getting it again.
It also sounds a little bit like being put down, though. That's the thing. If you see it,
what do you think happens to them after Christmas? All those small Santas. It's a one-shot deal.
It makes sense, I suppose. You got to get rid of them. You can't have. You don't want them to breed.
Send them to Switzerland. That's it.
On a big sleigh. Oh, it's a one-way ticket. Right.
Let's see what we've got here. Santa is a socialist, says Mark. Oh, he never takes, always gives. No wonder Trump dislikes him, to be fair. Yeah. Trump takes. No question there.
We've seen Navman's comment. I have bad news. Like Santa, the vaccine doesn't exist.
No,
Ouch.
that is not true, Navman. In this show, we'll stand by Santa.
Fake news.
There is a Santa. We will never say.
Yeah. Or at least there was until he's submitted himself to an early trial of the Oxford vaccine.
Oh, dear.
If they're wearing a diaper, being a Petri dish is the least of their problems. Oh,
Is that the Santa or the child that he's talking about there?
yeah. Do you know what? If I were doing a mall Santa gig, and let's be honest, you're right, I don't want to, but the way my career's going,
Yeah.
Let me check that equity diary. There's not a lot in it. Yeah, there is a chance. I think I'd diaper up rather than have to leave. I'd just sit there, diapered up, just, whew, Santa needs to go. Like that.
You'd want to do it the Billy Bob Thornton way and just be hammered the entire time, though.
Yeah, but it's all very well in Hollywood movies, but you try that in real life and you are on one of those registers that you have to sign for a long while. So,
yeah, I'd love to sign up for anything these days. No, not that. What else? Kids, hey kids, I can fly and I don't need those damn reindeers. That's it. That's it. Exemplary, Mark. That's what he's implying there in that.
I'm tripping balls.
I see elves. Dead elves because they didn't get the vaccine. So there you go. Christmas is coming.
Beautiful.
And so is Santa.
Get yourself subscribed to the YouTube page for more of these. We're on twice a week. Spread the link if you're watching it right now. That'd be very much appreciated. And because we are trying to raise money to constantly make this show better, hopefully, keep it running, keep the lights on, buy better lights, all of those things. If you could chuck some money in the pot, it would be very much appreciated. The kind of thing whereas if you'd buy us a drink afterwards and say, oh, tell me more about what you'd dress up like if you were Santa, those kind of weird conversations, that money that you would buy as a drink with, chuck it in the pot, it would be very much appreciated. Right.
There we go. So, Steve, you got a problem for us?
I got a problem. The problem is about my people, my heritage, my ancestry, because as we all know, and I'm sure I've mentioned on this show many times, I am a 30-tooth Welsh. And as I believe we say in my original mother tongue, there's lovely, isn't it? So as someone of the Welsh faith, I was concerned to find out what's happening in my mother nation. They've got a Firebreak lockdown, which is like a circuit breaker lockdown. Okay. That's the end of that sentence. There's no difference between it. I can't quite work out why they wanted to call it a Firebreak. I think what they did is probably did like market focus group research and realised that Firebreak sounds sexy, whereas a circuit breaker is just the thing that pisses you off when you're trying to do the lawn. Oh, that bloody circuit breaker. So they're calling it the Firebreak. 17 days. Why the hell 17 days? I've got no idea. So they're effectively in a little mini lockdown. It'll be interesting to see what the results are. But the bit I want to talk about today is how they've managed to mess up the shops. Headlines told us that they were covering up non-essential items in the shops. And we can get an example of it. You could see that's a toy aisle that was barricaded off.
Yeah.
My first complaint is take down the things that say half price, great prices. That's just rubbing it in, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could get these amazing deals, but we're not letting you near it. You've got dirty pox. So you couldn't get to the non-essential items. You could still buy food, but you couldn't buy plates to eat the food on, which means if you're cooking soup, don't make it too hot or you'll burn your hands. That is, of course, a joke. You can't warm up soup. You're not allowed to buy a microwave either. So it is, I mean, that was bad enough. And I did try, follow me on Twitter. I try and do jokes. I was saying I'd be outraged if I still lived in Wales. I would write a stern letter. Now, where's the stationery department? Damn it! But so then there was a bigger problem over the weekend when another type of item was restricted. It was ridiculous. We then needed to go to the Welsh Health Minister, Vaughan Gethin, who said this.
I was very saddened to see this particular exchange on social media this morning from a supermarket telling a woman she could not buy period products.
There's not lovely. I mean, actually, as a little sidebar on this, I always thought it would be better to call them period products rather than sanitary products. I don't like euphemisms in general life. I just think, call things what they are. But it is true, when you hear someone say it, it does make you think he's talking about antiques. Like, period products does make you think, is it a Jane Austen themed tampon? I don't know what's going on. That would sell. We should actually put that down on the idea for the marketing budget. But anyway, what a ridiculous situation. You're not allowed to sell non-essential items, and some absolute plank makes the decision of, well, you don't need them. Oh, jeez. How did you escape that altercation? Absolutely ridiculous. The closest I could come to try and work out what happened is some deputy store manager somewhere probably had a team meeting before they opened the door saying, so Today, we can't sell the non-essential items because of the COVID. So we can't sell anything you don't need to do with plates, sportswear, period. And that is probably what happened. A misunderstanding. No, it sadly doesn't get much better, because Vaughan went on to explain why some items are still going to be restricted. Didn't make any sense to me. I think if you're in a shop, you're already a risk to the community. Does it matter what you put in the trolley? But there's a bit of a theory.
But there are some other items that won't be on sale for the next 2 weeks. These are items that other high street shops, which are currently closed, can't sell at the moment.
Get it now. So it's about fairness. It's about the fact that if other shops are closed and they can't sell their items, it's not fair that the supermarkets can still sell those items. Genius. So what they've done is, if you want something, you can't get it from a shop, you can't get it from a supermarket. Meanwhile, CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, said,
Good. Operation Release the Virus and Earn More Money is going to plan.
So that's what I did with my day. You know the drill.
All right, so let's get into the technical. I enjoyed that piece. Thank you. Technically, we go with the Jeff Bezos thing there, because you have figured out the technology to make the lips move.
Yeah.
On pumpkins and some other things that you've done. Why did you go with the creepy
Monty Python style animation?
Yeah.
Because I'd never done one on the show before. It's as simple as that. That's the only reason I do any of these weird sketches. The Bond one from last time, I just wanted to know if I could put myself in a Bond intro. Simple as that.
And shove gold up your bum. Was that the other goal?
That was the
You
one.
didn't actually have to do it, Steve.
Commit to the bit. You know my theory on comedy.
You also didn't have to make me watch the rehearsal. Never forget.
Don't you getting too many surprises. But no, I did it just because we've never done a Monty Python style animation thingy. It would have been so much easier to do face swap or whatever, but which actually we've not fully used face swap yet. I guess we will at some point.
Yeah, sort of a John Travolta, Nick Cage face off.
There's the app that lets you put your face on celebs. So what we need to do is get a picture of the celeb, put it on videos of us. So that's how we could. I've already worked out how to do it, but I've not got around to doing it. Of course, I'm going to do it. What else am I going to do with my incredibly empty equity diary?
I think the show could take off if it was hosted by Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I'll be Brad Pitt, of course.
Fair enough. I got the legs for it. Lovely.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see, what have we got in the comments there?
Exquisite says, "Yeah, Pee-wee." All right. Fair enough. Don't know what that's about. What did we miss?
Yeah.
Go on to comment cam over here.
Catchphrase. Comment cam.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
I also spent half a day trying to make the colours match on these two cameras as well. But so yeah, we're on the comments. What have you got going? Mark Randall says method. I like that one. As in like method. But it's Welsh. Do you get? It's my people. Do you get what he's saying there?
I get it. What else is marked? According to the First Minister, they called it a firebreak because genuinely they were worried about calling it a circuit break would make people think it affected electronics. I think that's important to know the intelligence of your people.
Don't diss my people, Eric.
130 tooth?
130 tooth. There's
Really?
lovely boy.
Whatever.
Isn't it?
I've done more than a 30 tooth in Wales. I don't know what that means either. Right. Is there anything else?
Chris just says, there's lovely. You see, they're speaking Welsh to me because I'm Welsh.
No, they're speaking English with Welsh phrases.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
That's offensive. To even call it that is offensive to my people, Eric. We'll close up with any of the other messages. Let's have a look. We've got too many pages for different one of these.
Yep. See anything there? There we go.
You pad while I go through all the pages. God.
Well, it's very.
Yep.
We padded. There we go. I can't see anything else on this side either. No, I think we're caught up. The link is there if you want to subscribe on the YouTube, and if you feel like buying a purchase of a drink or a new television set, it takes any amount that goes in there, and the pound is plummeting. So if you're in a foreign currency,
Yeah, chuck it this way.
spend, motherfuckers. Right. We've got one more problem to crack through before the end here, and I think it's mine.
Yeah, what you got for us?
It's actually a world problem, Steve, and it's a question I'll ask you. How well do you understand the Electoral College?
Didn't attend myself, more of a School of Hard Knocks, University of Life type.
Well, it's the story, Steve, of the greatest democracy that humanity has ever known, where you can become the leader of a country but lose the popular vote, and it still thinks it's the greatest democracy. And maybe not anymore, but it is a problem because we are 1 week away from the 2020 presidential election day. People have been voting en masse, and I thought I would talk about the Electoral College tonight because we are planning, this is the plan so far, we're going to be doing a late night coverage, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday night, results are going to start coming in at 1 a.m. in the UK. And so we are going to be there covering it live. Steve, is that right? I've convinced you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I think we might need to give ourselves power naps maybe at some point. You know me, I drink so many cans of Monster that another one's not going to keep me up all night. So that's going to be a challenge. But yeah, if you can, if you're up, you want to get some coverage, I think we should set ourselves up as you could watch us. And if you're watching some TV coverage, put us on as the soundtrack, and we'll make it better.
What we'll do is we'll narrate what the TV people are would be telling you, but we'll say it in a better way.
And don't worry, no one will know the result by the morning. So
there'll be a point where about 4 a.m. where we'll just be like, fuck it, I don't care about democracy anymore. But that's the plan. But to understand it, I thought I would take you through a little bit of Electoral College 101 to prepare yourself for next week. Because, again, greatest democracy. Now, let's look back at the Electoral College, what happened last time. These were the final results between Hillary and Donald, and this is what made him president. And so there's 538 electoral votes that are possible. So you need 270 to win. And this is from a great website called 270 to Win, where you can go in and put your own numbers in. So basically, Trump got 306 electoral votes, and the Democrats got only 232, even though Hillary won the popular vote. And the reason why that works is because those electoral college votes are what make the president. Right. But it doesn't matter how well you do to get those votes. So, for example, California, you get 55 electoral votes from California, but you might win by one vote in California. You get 55 votes, or you might win by a couple million, which is what happened with Hillary. You still get 55 votes. Whereas you go to some little punk-ass state like Wyoming, where there's only 3 people, they get 3 electoral votes because all 3 people voted the same way. It doesn't matter that there's only 3 people there because it's God's country. God loves Wyoming more than the sinners in California.
And what happens with your Carolinas and your Dakotas and the ones that have North and South?
Yeah. What do you mean? What happens with them?
Do they count as one?
There's North Carolina and South Carolina. Those are 2 separate states. Ooh. North and South Dakota are 2 separate states as well. Ooh, so they got divided up. I mean, there's a big difference between North and South Dakota. One's called North Dakota. One's closer to Canada, which should make it communisty. But where Hillary fell down is the night unfolded. She lost. Florida was tight. And then once that started to slip away, then North Carolina is actually sort of a swing state, which goes back and forth. And that slipped away. And then she lost Wisconsin by 70,000 votes. So again, she gets all of the electoral votes in Wisconsin by losing by those 70 because some dumb fucks voted for the Green Party, which is one of my official things. And lots of other things. So that's what happened. That was the nightmare of 2016. But now this is the state of the race right now. We've got here Biden's looking good, which Hillary was as well. So we're just not being, it's like, woo. Biden's on 290, you can see here, and Trump's only banked 163 electoral votes.
What's that brown bit in the middle, though? That's worrying.
Brown bit is the shithole that is Orlando, Florida. No, it reflects, because that's the only place you British people have ever been.
Yeah.
I hate that. Oh, you're from Seattle. Yes, I'm from Seattle. Oh, I've been to Orlando. Now, Washington State is the upper left-hand corner. Anyway, different story. Those are tied states or toss-up states that could go either way at this stage. But you can see that, Trump could win all of those states and he still would come up short, because right now the blue is back up in Wisconsin, which is in the north there, which is where Hillary fell down last time. Arizona is in Biden's camp this time. So and Pennsylvania, which has 20 electoral votes. So Biden's sitting pretty. He's looking good.
You say that, though, but my two questions would be, what are the light blue areas? We can bring it up again. What are the light blue areas? And They lean. Okay. They lean. So that means there's a chance of it falling into the territory that you just described, of just slightly leaning one way, and then all of those votes are wasted.
Correct. So that's what Texas is only leaning, which is really the big news, which has given us a taste, Steve. The liberal taste. We can just feel it, like we can see it, and think, they must know that Trump is nuts and crazy and everything else. And it gives us this next one, Steve, which is a liberal's wet dream. Show it to me. 430 to 125. Look at Texas is blue. Florida is blue. We keep Wisconsin, Arizona, 413.
But this just made up.
Well, this is possible because
was this on Pornhub?
This is I'm struggling to focus now. I get so excited. The blood has gone to a different part of my body. This just shuts Trump and Trumpism down. It's over.
Okay.
But I am a liberal, so I know that this won't happen. Because we see what happens is my liberal colleagues in America, they see that and they go, oh, we're going to win. And, like the one woman who said, I voted for Trump because it was a joke. I supported Bernie Sanders the whole time. So I voted for the person who's the opposite anyway. So there's two liberal nightmares that could happen that we could see next Tuesday night. The first one is this. This is a tie, which is possible because the framers of the Constitution were fucking morons, and it could break 269. I put this together. We keep Wisconsin as a liberal, but we lose a couple other places. So what happens in a tie, Steve?
What happens in a tie?
Contingent election.
Penalties. Sorry, what?
Basically, it is penalties. It goes to the House of Representatives, and that means that essentially each state gets to cast a vote towards the president. Now, the House of Representatives is who would decide that, which is currently controlled by the Democrats. But that's not what makes it. It doesn't matter who controls the House. It matters how many states you have in the House. And currently, the Republicans control more states. So in a tie, that favors Trump.
Okay, tricky.
So that's nightmare number one. Nightmare number two would be this. And this is called Wisconsin fucks us again. Because this has Biden winning some of the states, all the states that Hillary won, but losing Wisconsin and a couple other little states, and basically 270 to 268. And it doesn't matter how many millions of people in California and in New York and everywhere else on the coasts vote for Biden. We will have 4 more years of Trump.
How are you feeling about that?
That's probably what'll happen.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's going to give both of us more work.
Yeah, but luckily I live in the UK and things are going great here.
Some comments coming through. Brit on YouTube says 269 by 269, 69 not always the best way to end the night. Brit, make sure you're watching our late night through the night coverage, because we'll need that joke many times through that. Yeah. If you could keep posting that, that'd be great.
The only problem with that 69 is that Donald Trump is one of the 6s or 9s. And you just can't get that orange bronzer off.
Even Russian wee-wee does not shift it. Also, if we just go back up to there, so the dark red ones are the ones that are really, really Trump states. Yeah. And so Texas is in play, but my favourite type of Southern Americans, which we've always talked about, when not on air but off air, you know that my favourite kind of American, and no offence to you, you're from the wrong but I like those big, sweaty, deep South lawyers who have a tie that barely fits, and they're still in a suit even though they know it's sweating, and they're like, "Good, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to ascertain the verisimilitude of my client." I like them. And so you're telling me they're voting for Trump?
Oh yeah, big time.
I'm not so keen on them now.
Yeah, and I would like
Let
to
me
apologize.
disabuse you of that notion.
Stop it. To Utah. They're saying Wyoming is a great state. It is a great state. I just picked on them because they're small and they get a lot of power that's disproportionate to their population. And Jackson Hole, this person went to Jackson Hole, and the people are very friendly. They're very friendly and racist.
Oh, interesting. Are they the kind of friendly people who would defend their client as an attorney at law in front of these 12 good ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
As long as their client was white.
Oh yeah, I've seen those films. Look at this. I got a flipping shiny thing there. I got props.
I can't believe you prepped with a prop.
I didn't. It was, you know what this is?
You were just there.
This is a piece of fabric, a shiny fabric, which is used in the daytime to cover my webcam because I don't trust them Russians.
Oh my God, you're one of those. Mine's got a little light that pops on when the.
But yeah, as if you can't turn off the light but still leave on the webcam.
That doesn't happen.
Have you never seen those Snowden films?
No.
Okay.
Never seen Snowden films.
Mark Randall says, being serious. Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
Right, serious face.
Press the buttons. Not though. Then we need a thing that just being serious.
Yes, Mark. What have you got?
Surely it should be the case that to win, Biden should have to get 270, a bit like the Ryder Cup. Tie favours the holder.
That's not being serious, Mark. This is about the great democracy in world history.
Let me disabuse you of the notion that they are the finest democracy in the world. The verisimilitude of my opinion.
It will be those kind of lawyers that decide this once it gets to the Supreme Court and the new Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett, decides. Amy Coney Barrett.
We've not really got stuck into that either, have we, about the whole Amy Coney. Now, do you know who I blame for what's happened to your Supreme Court?
Oh.
It's the Democrats.
Of course.
Because they didn't weekend at Bernie the heck out of Ruth. Because
they did, actually.
This close.
She survived so many things. I mean...
But, you know... Like another 2 weeks worth of, looks like she's had a few too many. Let's go over here.
She did fall asleep once because she'd been drinking wine at the State of the Union. She admitted it. Because I mean, she was already like 85 when that happened. And they're like, oh, look at Ruth Bader's dozing. And she owned it. That's why she was so cool. She's like, I was drinking wine at dinner.
Yeah.
You sit there for a while.
And to be fair, it must be scary because if I fall asleep at dinner, which I do all the time because I'm not necessarily, you know, I'm often tired and not in great shape, but no one ever comes at me with paddles going, clear. So for her, it's a risk.
Every Democrat in the United States. She would go into the hospital and atheists would pray.
But as a serious point, really it is Democrats' fault, isn't it?
Everything is.
She should have retired.
She should have retired when Obama was leaving, but she thought that Hillary would win, as we all did, because she did win by the popular votes, but that's not what the Constitution says, because it's the greatest democracy in the world.
Okay. I'm going
to say a lot next Tuesday night, but there's been so many early votes. There is a slight chance, because there'll be a lot of mail-in votes, that there won't be it won't be able to call the race on the night. But with early voting in places like Texas, if it turned, or North Carolina, there's a chance we could have a result. And so, you know, if you're an American watching, vote.
So which states do I need to pay attention for my favourite type of American? Who are the ones who do all this?
That's going to be Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia, all those kind of places.
So I'll be
South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. That's the kind of guy you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll be watching those states on our through the night coverage. I'll keep my shiny handkerchief. It's going to be on the webcam anyway, so that's definitely something to look forward to. I'll be doing lots more of that acting.
That drawl starts to drop away when you get out towards Texas, and then it gets a little bit more sharp. So
don't line
a little bit
so
more
much.
like that. A little bit, and then you get into Oklahoma, and it just gets different. And then you get into the South Dakota, and change it all together.
Because I do have lots of suits in this room for all the dressing up that we do. I might try and see if I can wear one that is incredibly ill-fitting, and then just look like I'm sweating, so I can do the full kind of courtroom.
You got to get a big hat though as well.
Why do they still wear? Oh, you know, you've gone full on. Kind of full-on camp. The kind of I'm the one who have a fit of the vapors, that kind of stuff.
Ooh, golly Moses, I declare.
That's not the one I'm going for. I'm not going to cat on a hot tin roof it. I'm just after some kind of courtroom drama. Oh, we're going to have fun.
It's going to be late, and depending on how the results go, I may start drinking, which basically means once we start getting results, I'll be drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve will sober us through.
Yeah. I'll be the only one, because I got some buttons in front of me.
Right. Yeah, well, I think we better go. We've solved a lot of problems. We got the subscription link is there.
Yeah.
Subscribe, because that will be live streamed on YouTube. And if you've enjoyed what we're doing, you can buy us a drink. Anything else to say, Steve?
No, I'm just going through some of the messages. The greatest democracy in the world, where you can buy an AK-47 but not a Kinder Egg. Although they make up for obesity in other ways. And can you dress as Boss Hogg from the Dukes of Hazzard?
No, Dukes of Hazzard is on the naughty list now because of the whole Confederate flag on the car thing.
But what about from the Bond films? That the local police chief. God damn! Gotta do that.
Those are good.
I just chew and spit every so often. Obviously, I don't have chewing tobacco in the house, but I do have. These will do, won't they? Some Wrigley's Extra, whatever it is.
No.
God damn!
You have offended my honor, sir.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun. So I think we're up to date with the messages. I think buyers, if you could chuck some coins, if you could afford the same price as like a drink or even a newspaper or something, pop it in the pot. There should be a donation link somewhere. That would very much be appreciated, because it keeps us going, and we'll reveal details about this maybe on our Patreon, updating some more of the kit. So we've got some. What would be there'll be some things cut. There's changes coming for season 3.
Yeah, we've got some extra target to try and hit money wise, so it would very much be appreciated. I'm just going to get my my thing ready to cover the webcam as soon as we're done.
Oh dear. But, wait, we've had. You should have an anti-swear jar for Tuesday. Every word not calling Trump a twat would cost 1p. There we go. We'll try it, Britt. Thank you.
Britt, please watch us on the show, and hopefully, I don't know where you're from, Britt, because we don't have the details on the message board, but I'm hoping you could even point out that Eric's pronounced twat wrong. But anyway, enough of that. Twat.
Twat.
Okay, we're going to have some fun. So I think we're all sorted.
There we go. But before that, we will be back on Thursday at 9 o'clock in the UK, which we are 1 hour closer to the US right now because of the time change here, but not there. And there we go.
Beautiful work. Yeah. So spread the link, get subscribed, chuck some money in the pot. They're the basic messages, and we'll see you Thursday at 9. Till then,
bye.